I discovered my dream job was actually destroying me, and I had to burn every bridge to save myself. 3 years ago, I landed what everyone called the perfect job, a marketing position at a Draftfulwame brand with 6-figure potential, unlimited PTO, and a boss who was featured in Forbes 30 Under 30. My HR icon was flooded with congratulations. What no one saw was how my visionary boss would text me at 3 a.m., expecting immediate responses, how she'd praise me lavishly one day, then humiliate me in meetings the next, how unlimited PTO actually meant never take a day off without being made to feel guilty. I gave everything to that job. I missed my grandmother's funeral because we had a product launch. I worked through pneumonia. I ended the 2-year relationship because I didn't have time for both. I truly believe the sacrifice was normal, that success required complete devotion. The breaking point came during a company retreat. After working 20-hour days preparing everything, I collapsed from exhaustion. My boss pulled me aside and said, maybe this isn't for you if you can't handle the pace. There are hundreds of girls who would kill for your position. That night in my hotel room, I scrolled through my photos from the past year. I barely recognized myself. My eyes looked empty. My smile was forced. I lost 30 pounds without noticing. I called my mom, something I rarely did anymore. Honey, we've been worried about you, she said. This isn't normal. This is abuse. The next morning, I walked into my boss's suite where the executive team was having breakfast. Without rehearsing what I'd say, I announced, I quit. My boss's perfect smile faltered. You can't just quit in the middle of a retreat, she said. Think about your career. No one will hire you after this. I don't care, I replied, voice shaking. I'd rather be unemployed than continue like this. Her face hardened. You are making a massive mistake. We gave you everything. I looked around at my colleagues' shocked faces and said, no, you took everything. I walked out, blocked everyone's numbers, and booked the first flight home. For months after, I struggled with feeling like a failure. That company continued to thrive. My replacements' enthusiastic posts appeared on my feed. I took a job at a small local agency at half my previous salary. On my first day, my new boss said, we don't work at chains here. Ever. I almost cried. 6 months later, the news broke. 3 former employees have filed lawsuits against my old company for toxic workplace practices. Then 5 more came forward, then dozens. The visionary CEO stepped down amid the scandal. My phone exploded with messages from former colleagues. You were right. How did you have the courage? I wish I'd left when you did. I wasn't brave. I was just broken first. The real dream wasn't the creator job or the impressive salary. It was finding work that allowed me to have a life worth living alongside it. Sometimes walking away isn't failure. Sometimes it's the first step towards saving yourself.